Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the King of the Beta tournament, sponsored by our lovely peripherals manufacturer, Razer, who will be, of course, providing the prize pool for this wonderful event and making it all possible. So we do have Game 3 of HuK against Idra coming up right now. Thank you for allowing me that brief break to go get some water, because hydration is very important for a caster in these series. Because I don't know about you, but when I watch these games, I sweat. So, we will be going into Game 3 in just a moment. Keep in mind that these two players are currently tied 1-1. Whoever wins this will be 1-1 in their group. Whoever loses this will be 0-2 in their group. Question again on everyone's mind going right into Game 3. What map will HuK be choosing? Always an important question to ask yourself when you are currently tied 1-1. It is a game-breaking match. May as well be a best of one. And, a lot of players will end up choosing a map that, they're not quite comfortable on. So key in these tournaments to make sure you get on the right footing when you do have the choice. And it looks like the map is Lost Temple, the classic, traditional RTS, famousest map of all time. LT has been adapted in a bajillion ways, which is, of course, 1 followed by a gorillion zeros. So Idra is spawning at the right as the green Zerg, and he's going to be very happy to know that his opponent HuK is at the left position as the blue Protoss. I say that Idra is very happy about that because cross-map positions are much more favoring the Zerg players. Zergs love to be passive, they love to sit back, wait, see what the opponents are doing, have the freedom to expand all around the map, and you really get that when you're in these sorts of positions. The probe is already darting across the map in trademark HuK style. HuK, let's see if he's going to be chrono boosting after that pylon finishes. This is always a big reveal as to what's going to be going on. Yeah, it looks like we're only going to see some sort of 1 gateway strategy or maybe some very late 2-gate. Idra is continuing to make a lot of drones. He is just sending some overlords oot and a boot to see exactly where his opponent is at, but no drone scout yet because Idra is one of the more mechanical players you will ever meet. He was that way when he played Terran in Brood War. He is the same way in Starcraft 2, loves the repetition, loves fine-tuning the build and looking for small minor edges. It's one of the hallmarks of an expert player. And it looks like Idra, oh no, HuK, oh, he's going to waltz right by Idra, who is getting away with a 14 hatchery. This is just terrible news for HuK. He could have easily spun back around and blocked it with a pylon and created all sorts of misery and disaster for his opponent, but looks like it was not meant to be. This expansion is going down for Idra, but oh, HuK surprising me as well. Look at this. He's at 16 probes already. Could he be going Nexus first? yeah. Why attack when you can just not attack, right? Why not just expand? It's always kind of funny when you see games like this where both players take a little bit of a risk. Idra throwing down the 14 hatch, HuK throwing down the 16 Nexus. And if you get someone who doesn't watch StarCraft 2, they just think, well, why doesn't anyone ever attack in this game? But don't worry, that always happens eventually. So HuK continuing to do a little bit of probe harass. Even though he has seen these 2 key buildings, wants to keep a good sense of when that gas geyser goes down. That will help reveal if Idra's going to be going for a little bit faster of Zergling speed and then play a little bit more aggressive at the start, or whether it's going to be all-out econ, 100% drones all the time. And very interesting follow-up by HuK. Huge decision for HuK. Does he try to make a forge to defend, or can he get away with getting 2 gateways? And look, HuK is keeping track of the number of larvae. Only 1 larva out right now. That means only possibly 1 set of Zerglings, so HuK knows he doesn't need any cannons for the time being. So now Idra is getting away with getting 2 queens up instantly. There's the very late extractor, but want to get those 2 queens up immediately. Wants to go into pure macro mode. Double assimilator going up for HuK. HuK's now just waiting for these 2 gateways to finish so he can begin warp gating his way into some nice aggression in the mid game. Looks like we might see some sort of repeat of game 1. Looks like we might see a ton of gateways popping up from HuK. Does look like he won't actually be getting any sort of zealots out. I think this might just be to psych out Idra, who is sufficiently not psyched out at all. Going to the production tab, 0 Zerglings being made. Look at that. Only drones. Idra has no fear. He's just going to keep tabs on whether these gateways are producing anything at all. And it looks like the Forge and Core are out for HuK right now. Now remember, in game 1, HuK did do that very aggressive Zealot harass, so he was able to delay the second Queen by Idra. He was able to delay a lot of drone production, but in this game, look at the unit counting station. Already Idra is swinging way up to tied with HuK HuK, who's been doing nothing but Chrono Boost this game. And Idra looks like he might even be gearing up to take a third base very quickly here. Idra now using his next set of 25 larvae to begin spreading the creep, one of the most proactive Zerg users about spreading creep, with the one exception of the little one, who's a little bit famous for that. HuK finally now getting himself some zealots, and looks like no one actually likes defending in this game. Yeah, this is this is very uncharacteristic for any of you who are just tuning in. Most of the time you'll see players getting a lot more units, being more aggressive, throwing up more defenses, but these two players have such excellent reads on one another. They know exactly when and how many units each other can make, so both of them will be safe for the time being. HuK looks like he's pulling back this probe to try to spot if there's any expo going up, and it looks like Idra will be taking the quick third. Very far away location. Traditionally, Idra always stays close, tight, well defended, and passive. Evo chamber going down once again for Idra, but again, notice how high that drone count is. Easily able to keep up with his opponent HuK. Now, HuK is gearing up for a big push. Looks like these sentries were able to zap down an Overlord, and Idra really doesn't have that great a sense of what's going to be coming up. Oh, robotics facility for yet again another one of my favorite units. The Colossus might be popping out. But this is a bad news situation for Idra. All he's seen is a Forge, Gateways, and a Cybernetics core, and he's lost 2 Overlords. Virtually no information gained. HuK having a lot of patience, not revealing his plans. Double Robotics Facility. We're going to see massive Colossus action in just a second, which makes perfect sense. HuK is trying to exploit the fact that Idra is a mass Hydralisk player. Idra's finally finishing his bottom expansion, but really this is not that much time for Idra. Idra really needs to begin getting those Hydralisks, and I really need to stop saying the word really. So, that's going to be my goal for the remainder of the cast. So, Roach Warren is going down for Idra right now. Might seem like an unusual choice, but if you have 3 hatches and 3 sets of queens, the only way you can support that many larvae is if you are going for the relatively inexpensive Roach, which of course is a very, very strong unit. Twilight Council going down now. Might look like HuK is going down too many tech paths, but this of course does allow for that +2 attack upgrade to begin research, which, oh, looks like that is going down immediately. And that will help him kill units in 1 less hit with those Colossi. Very, very important upgrade to get. Almost as important as that +1 upgrade in Zealots against Zerglings. Here's the Hydrals Den coming out right now, and I'm surprised at how few units Idra has. I mean, he has 22 Zerglings and 45 drones. Doesn't look like HuK has that much, but this is a very big momentum play. The instant that this robotics bay finishes and 2, 3, 4 Colossi pop out, HuK is going to have a monstrous timing push. I'm trying to look around here to see if there's any Spire in sight, but no, Idra is still just making Hydralisks and Zerglings. Does look like, ooh, nice little surround there. HuK getting a little lost with his Zealots. Looks like he's trying to get to the front here to check this Xel'Naga Watchtower, but perhaps getting a touch over eager. There's the +2 upgrade going down on the Forge. 2 Colossi coming out as well. More Zealots being warped in. The Zealots are cheap, but it's slightly fragile of an army. Any Spire at all, and you're done. Idra looks like, HuK's getting an excellent sense of everything that's going on. Look at how close HuK is skirting towards the edge of Idra's base. Wants to see if there's any sort of Spire going down, but the real savior for Idra is this bottom expansion. Absolutely nothing is scouted that southern area. And it looks like Idra is low on Hydralisks as well. Has only just begun producing them. And some of you might say, oh, well, you know, the Colossi are only really super strong against the Hydralisks. They're also great against anything that has low range, such as the Roaches or the Zerglings, because if you throw down enough force fields, you can abuse that absurd range 9 from the Colossus that HuK isn't getting. Ooh, ouch. Oh, no, that is... I personally think that is the most important upgrade in the game. The extended Thermal Lance upgrade that boosts the range from 6 to 9. Oh god, HuK is in such a great position. Idra has only gotten the +1 armor upgrade, and here comes a huge force, but no range upgrade. Oh god, this is so painful to see. And HuK is advancing to the north area to kill off these destructible rocks. Always a smart play to make, so you can set up for a nice expansion. Or to just kill a Zergling and leave. I would love it if he was able to kill off that expansion. But it looks like HuK is moving up to the north side, wants to just check if there's some Overlords there to snipe those off. Again, regaining control of the Xel'Naga Watchtower. Still just Roaches and very low unit count for Idra. Only Roaches at this point, and there's the Spire spawning at the bottom. God, still no range, so painful to see, but here comes the big push from HuK. Still no air units out yet, and these Colossi just have such short range, they won't be able to do very much at all. Small gateway count. This is a pretty sturdy army from Idra at this point in time, but HuK needs to continue to be careful. He has 5 Colossi out at this point in time. And here are some Immortals joining the fray as well, and no range upgrade. I'm going to be checking that every 5 seconds. 2 Evo Chambers up for Idra. Can't quite find the money to do anything with it yet. Going to the production tab. Here's some Corruptors coming out right now for Idra. That will let him deal with those Colossi very well. There are 5 out right now with range 6, and with this Observer, he is managing to snipe off some of the Creep Tumors. But here comes some Corruptors. They are target firing. This Colossus Corruptors do absurd damage to massive units, as you can see. As now you can see 20 damage per shot, and they have a pretty fast fire rate. So more Immortals popping out for HuK. He does have the +2 upgrade, and still no range. Oh, brutal. And HuK weirdly taking